I don't know if it was his first. It may have been. But was actually I was striking the shit out of Dustin Poirier. Was going crazy, and Poirier took him to the ground and gave him his kind of welcome to the UFC moment, right? So like, you got to be all around guy here. You got to be able to stuff takedowns and you
Yep, that
get
was
the
his
things
first
done that
UFC
you need
fight.
to get done. Yeah,
So
and so ended up getting
that
to
triangle.
yeah, he did an armbar attempt. Armbar attempt led to a triangle.
Mhm.
Triangle attempt led to a triangle armbar. So, and ended up subbing him first round. Came back and then they fought. Max was the champ. Um, or interim champ. 5-round brawl.
Yeah.
Fucking one
Crazy.
of the best
Crazy.
fights I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely love that fight.
Yeah,
These
Poirier clearly won that fight.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, it was so many times that Max got caught in that fight that we thought it was over, and he just
He
kept
just kept coming.
moving forward. And that's why at that point I felt like this man is invincible. Nobody can knock him out. And then we met Ilya Taporia, and I was like,
We don't talk about Bruno.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Talk about
anyways, Poirier Holloway set. So Max has his chance to actually, get his dub on Poirier, seal the deal. But also Poirier, this will be his last fight.
right.
More than
So
likely. Like it's
this,
like a 98% chance his last fight.
the symmetry in this. So Max's introduction to the UFC was by Dustin Poirier. Poirier's last official, as of right now, fight will be Max Holloway.
Full circle.
The complete full circle. I mean, you couldn't write a more beautiful storybook in the violence between these two men who are going to meet 3 times in their career. And it's like I said, just seeing this picture right here just makes me think of like also the hardship of this. For example, when these two first fought, probably no one know who Max Holloway was, as is the man he is today. The second time they fought, I was so torn because I like both guys, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I just don't want anybody to come up with any permanent damage. Okay, Dustin got the win on that. This is gonna be the same thing for the third. It may be the last time that we see Dustin Poirier in the UFC ring. You want him to go out with a good performance, but you also don't want to lose Max. We just saw him get knocked out of the subject that we're not covering right now. But it's like, man, it's you want it, but you don't want it. You know?
Yeah. Was that Pickers?
I said that counts. Saying the
what?
subject matter we're not discussing counts.
I can refuse. I can be ignorantly bliss just as I just refuse to just accept that fact.
Yeah, man.
Like Sean O'Malley's undefeated record.
Oh my God.
See?
Here we go. But yo, man, how excited are you for this fight, Pickers?
Dude, I can't wait. And yeah, I agree with everything Mallory said about symmetry. I think they, were both relatively unknown the first time they fought. Obviously, Max Holloway being his first fight in the UFC was probably even lesser known than Dustin Poirier at that point. But I think it's also really cool to kind of see this come full circle, and now we kind of have both guys in their fullest form. This is the best version of each guy that we're getting. And they're both also very, boxing heavy, striking heavy guys with good chins that go into deep waters. So just the stylistic matchup alone, even taking the name notoriety away from it, it just makes for a really, really exciting fight. And yeah, I think this is Max's chance to get a dub. I think both guys have done a lot for the company over their last few fights. And I think they both deserve this. And I'm happy that they both get a money fight. And it's nice. I don't think either guy's really the B side of the money fight. I think a lot of both of these guys have gotten money fights where they were the B side, and those are probably the bigger money fights in their career. But this is such a good, I mean, from every standpoint, from a stylistic standpoint, from a storyline standpoint, and from a financial standpoint, because we love to see, our favorite fighters get paid like this. This fight just works on every level.
Yep.
Yeah. I just wonder what we're gonna get. Are we gonna get the first fight? Or are we gonna get the war?
We're not getting. I don't think we're getting a triangle armbar, bro.
No. I mean as in a first round finish or like a quick finish. Because both of them are capable of it. Definitely. I think back then too, also when Dustin Poirier fought Max Holloway didn't have the power he has now and hadn't experienced the power like Dustin Poirier had at that current moment, right? When he first fought him. So I think a lot is different there too. And just the sheer amount of knowledge that he's gained over the last, decade or so that he's been fighting for the UFC. I think man, I think I want to go to New Orleans.
Would you say the Poirier got? I mean, he was always a great competitor in the UFC, but he got a lot more shine after beating Conor twice.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
I mean, he was the first man to finish him, knock him out, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I think that's when the diamond was solidified.
Yeah,
like that's when the diamond was fully cut, and now it's a real gemstone. It was rough around the edges at first.
Also, random thing. Have you guys ever watched Fightville with Poirier in it? It's a documentary.
Say that again. What's it called?
You ever watched a documentary called Fightville?
Fightville? Nah.
If you get a chance and can find it. So I found out about this. It was well into probably about before Dustin fought Max. And they were like, yeah, Dustin's in a, documentary crew followed him around. And you get young, raw Dustin, like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I was never really good in school. And this is, and it follows him before he reaches the UFC. Actually, I think it ends when he gets his first 2 matches in the UFC. But it's a raw look at a guy that just thought like, hey, this is going to be my life. I need to be good at it. And you see Jolie there, who's like, she's always been by my side, shout out to her for staying, by him. Everybody remembers that infamous picture at the top of the ring with Conor, with Jolie. And congratulations to them on welcoming their second child.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely super supportive. Was there at the presser when I went. Right in front of me too. That was dope. But 318, who else is on that card? Wasn't that supposed to be Ilya on that card?
Did Ilya? I don't think Ilya ever had a set date.
No. Yeah. But I think who else is on this? Smoothie King Center. But I remember you talking about the A side, B side thing. Do you think they would give A side to Max because he's ranked higher and he's the champ? Like if you had to.
Max is not the champ.
But he's ranked higher. That's the
BMF champ.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah, they're fighting for the BMF belt.
Well, Poirier's ranked higher, isn't he?
Nope. He's ranked 5th.
No, he's 5. And currently right now they got Poirier as 115 to 105 for Max. Current
yeah.
Max is at 4?
Yeah.
He's at 4.
Yeah.
I thought he was at 9 after the Gaethje